Kylie Daddy wasn't able to send me his part of the video with him explaining what type of albinism he has and how it affects him. But because when he tried to send it to me in Messenger, it cut it off, it cut it short, and he hadn't sent it to me yet on Messenger. But anyway, I'm going to just give a small rundown on the type of albinism I have, and you know how both of us do have albinism, but Kylie did not come out with albinism. My son does not have albinism. But if you go down further in my videos, you will see me explaining, you know, the type of albinism. I mean, it's basically a remake, but because today is International Albinism Awareness Day, this is the 10th year, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. You know, I know a lot of people follow me that, you know, are from my community. Today is the 10th year. They have had this organization for 10 years. It's basically a fight and an awareness on albinism, because as you all may not know, in certain parts of Africa, they do cut off the limbs of children because they believe that they hold some kind of special power. And you just have to thank God that I am from where I'm from, because the only thing that I may experience is rejection. But I have occultaneous albinism, which albinism affects the hair, the eyes, the skin. It's the lack of pigment in the skin, hair, eyes. I will be enclosing a rundown, pinpoints of what causes us to have low vision in our eyes. I will be putting a slide in on that, and I also will be putting a slide in on pinpoints of what albinism is. But I have severe albinism, which is why my hair is white like paper. We do have to wear special glasses. I have transition glasses, which get dark when I go outside. I do have stigmatism. You know, sometimes my head will move, sometimes it won't, and I can feel it sometimes. And sometimes my eyes will move, whatever. Let's see. Because I'm doing this off the top of my head, y'all. But yes, I have occultaneous albinism. And yes, I am able to drive. We are able to drive. Some have better vision than others. But I had what they call bioptic lenses, and they're for anybody with low vision. You know, you don't have to have albinism, but they are telescopic glasses, and you can get them tricked out, pimped out, however you want. But they took mine last year because the doctor, she said she felt like my left eye, she wasn't comfortable with my left eye, but you know, I'm not giving up or going back. Before I leave Mobile this year, I am going to go back to her and see if I can get those glasses back. If not, I'll wait to when I get to where I'm going, you know, to get those glasses back. But yes, I have had a car before. I feel like personally that the reason that those things were stripped away from me at that time because I did not have the right people around me. And you guys, you want to have a support system. If you don't have a support system inside your family unit, there are organizations around to help assist you, here they have NFB, which they have NFB in Birmingham, the bigger states like Birmingham, Montgomery, and Mobile. That's why I moved here, because Mobile do have resources for us out there, and they have organizations that will help us, like with jobs, with transportation, or anything that you may need on a job. Let's say I want to work from home. I'm gonna need monitors that will blow things up so I can see them and I can work at the pace that the job requires me to. If you need a cane or glasses, they do pay for my glasses, my transition glasses, when it's time for them to be, when it's time for me to have another pair, which I think is every 2 years. I think I get a new pair of glasses. It's called Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind, which is the school that I attended. I did go to public school up until 2nd grade, when my grandmama, well, my teacher, Miss Kelly, brought to the attention to my grandmama that, I was not getting my lesson because I was not able to see the board. And my best friend, Savannah, I want to shout her out. She will always be my best friend. She was like she did not play about me, y'all. Like, no picking on me. She gonna beat you up. Like, and she made sure I did my work. I don't even know where she is. I cannot even find her. I don't see her on Facebook anymore. But shout out to Savannah. I forgot her last name. I want to say Odom. I don't remember, y'all. But yeah, she a real one. I'm telling you. But I went to school, and I'm from Andalusia, Alabama. Yes, country girl. And I went to Andalusia Elementary School, AES, and like I went there to 2nd grade, and I left there from 2nd grade and started to go to the school in Talladega, which is called Alabama Institute for the Deaf and Blind. They had a blind campus, deaf campus. Right down the street, we had our own track. We inside my school, we had something called independent living. Like, once you got old enough, one thing I can say about that school is they taught us how to be prepared for the world. Like independent living, they had built houses for us. We lived in these houses with what you want to call a house parent, but basically like an overseer, a nanny. And they would give us an allotment of money to grocery shop, and we cooked and prepared meals for everyone that was living inside their unit. They gave us money to buy. They furnished my cleaning supplies. But basically they taught us independent living skills, how to live on your own. They taught, because there are people out there who have no vision at all, and how they live on their own because that school got them prepared. This is nothing the parents did. This was something that was taught inside their school. So I'm very thankful for that. But it was a great experience because I have a lot of skills that people out here in the world, like, I still hang my clothes up, I still fold my clothes up, I still, like, my drawer, like, we were basically, we had to keep our room a certain way. Like, we had a drawer for underwear and socks. Like, your stuff, like, your bed had to be, it was kind of like being in military school, something like that. And you got rewarded for keeping your room clean like that whole month. They did like a monthly thing, and they took us out to eat, or they gave us gift certificates. We were like any normal school. I was a cheerleader. We had cheerleading. We had track. We had wrestling. We had basketball where the boys would play against the adults. We had football where the deaf kids had the football team. I ran track. I did about everything it was to do. I was on just about every organization. I was alright. My thing was field events, like the shot put and the standing long jump, the high jump, and I did maybe 1 or 2 relays. But my thing was field, and we basically had the same opportunities as you would in public school, if not more. I've been just about everywhere already because there's not just the blind school in Talladega, there's a blind school in Indiana, there's a blind school in Mississippi, there's a blind school in New Mexico, Oklahoma, Texas. I'm telling you, I still have friends from the blind school in Texas, and I love them to death. They still keep up and keep in contact with me. Trying to see, Louisiana has a blind school. Like, I've been pretty much anywhere because, like I said, we travel. I don't know about New York. Because we traveled, we competed against them, and we competed against public schools too. Now, don't get it twisted, but most of our competitions were against other blind schools across the world. So we got to travel, and they made sure they took us to the mall, and I'm talking about in Atlanta, Douglasville, anything that they could think of, I've already done it. That's why I'm like probably so chill now, because I've done just about everything. I've been just about everywhere, and that's a good experience. So, you know, I would recommend that school or those schools to anybody. If you have a child or a family member that has low vision, or, you know, you don't have to be albino. You don't have to have albinism to attend that school, but you do have to have low vision. But I went to school with all kinds of people with albinism. Like, there's not just black, there's white, there's Honduran, there's different. You hear her out there just acting a fool. But she know we right here, y'all. She know we right here. We gotta go feed her. No, we're gonna go feed her.
We're gonna go check on her.
Okay. But anyway, Kylie's dad has, I don't even remember what I said or what I found out, the type of albinism that he has, but his is recessive, meaning that's why Kylie did not come out with albinism, because we have 2 different types of albinism, but she carries the gene, and you know it skips generations. So I want to say that Kylie will have a child with albinism, or her child's child. My son, he only has half of the gene, and my mom and my dad they both carried the gene, the trait. They both carried it. So that's how I came out with albinism, and they both are dark-skinned people. But I was told that my great-great-great-grandmother had albinism, and her hair was white like mine. So, you know, it came from somewhere. And then I'll put a slide in of that too, showing how it skips generations. But we are here, we are out there. We do have a community where we talk about things to protect your skin. I am supposed to wear sunblock, but I don't like it. It stinks so bad.
She was on the window. She was on the window.
She got over that chair. She funny. But she learning how to climb, y'all. She's not technically still a baby, but she's learning how to climb now. So she be everywhere. But yes, We wear protective. I have shades, all kinds of shades, different colors, because we have to have something to protect our eyes. As you know, when we go out in the sunlight, some of us, all of us squinch up. Even I squinch up.
Why do vampires hate sunlight?
So we vampires now.
I know.
Kylie got her little cute shades on. Y'all look at her, y'all. And so the theme is yellow. Wear yellow for AAD day. And I do have my yellow on. Kylie has some yellow in her dress. But we do not like being called albinos. I don't know if people know that. And I know I probably have seemed rude to a lot of people because they be like, ain't you albino? And the proper way, y'all, is to say, don't you have albinism? And I know it's itching. The worst thing that I hate, though, is people saying we all look alike. Like, it's a myth. Yes, we all have albinism.
Just because you look albino doesn't mean you look like each other.
Right. We all look different. And y'all couldn't even imagine how many times I went into the store here since I've been here and it got mistaken for somebody who looks nothing like me. Like, she looks nothing like me. We just both have albinism. But all of us are beautiful in our own way. Some people try to limit us, but we can do just like, we can do anything you can do, but with altered, like having big print or being in a area where there's limited light, but we can do anything. I have peers that work in the for the government. I have people that do all sorts of things like drive. Like when I first got here, I met this guy. I can't remember his name, but he has a sister, and I think they lived in Theodore. And he was like,
Theodore is in that avenue.
He said, don't you drive? And I told him no. And he was telling me his story. He was like, I went to my mama and I told my mama, hey, look, I don't want to depend on y'all forever. And thank God that he had the parents who say, okay, son, believed in him, and he drives at night. And he probably drives at daytime too, but depending on your vision, that's the type of license you'll have, a day license, night license. And honey, he came to visit. I remember when I first moved here, he came to visit me, and he's the one that put me on to the organization, what is it called? CVR here in Mobile. He went through them and got his bioptic glasses. Well, he don't have his bioptic glasses, but he went through them to get his license. Like I said, we don't go, majority of us do not go to the DMV to get our license. Like we have to, it's a step we have to go through, and then they send our information to Montgomery. You know what I'm saying? That's how we have to do it. We don't go straight down to the DMV. Not everybody. Most of them do, and that's those that have a little bit better vision than most of us. They have better vision.
What's the DMV?
That's where you go to get your driver's license. That's where you go to get your driver's license. You take your test.
I don't know.
She is just blabbering. She knows she want to drive. We didn't already discuss this, honey.
Yeah,
but she does have. She has a light mark on her face. I'm thinking it's a birthmark. And it's so beautiful. She's so gorgeous. She looks just like her dad, y'all. She looks like her grandma and her dad. Sometimes she look like me, but she look like her people. Strong. Their genes are strong. You hear me? She looks just like her grandma. She is her grandma. Like, she's the opposite of me. She's more outspoken. She is very kind, and I'm teaching her. Well, she's nice. She's way too nice, and I'm trying to teach her not to be so nice. Even her teacher last year was telling her the same thing. She's like, "Mama, my teacher told me the same thing that you said." Yes,
I
because
said my new teacher.
her new teacher, yes, because people will take advantage, and kids don't know that they're taking advantage. I don't think. I try to give kids grace, but you gotta nip it in the bud. I mean, you gotta just not accept things now. I want her to learn not to accept things now, so when she is my age, I don't know, your eczema. And both of my kids have eczema. My son has severe eczema. But yeah, I'm so anxious to see which one of my kids will have a child with albinism. And I'm leaning towards this one, and I say that because
Yes.
she has it strongly. Like her father and I have it, but hey, we will see. I can't wait. I hope God allows me to live that long to see. And I teach my kids, and yes, my kids get bullied about it. Y'all might not think it happened, but it does, and that's why y'all should teach your kids about people living with different disabilities. About y'all advocate for autism a lot, but I never see a lot of people advocate for albinism. And I noticed that now that I'm on YouTube, I see a lot of more, like one family that Kylie found them on her own, 2 years ago, the DC family.
Oh yeah.
They have a big following, and their little girl has albinism.
She's pretty.
She is so gorgeous, and
Her name.
Kylie found them on her own. I was like, Kylie, what is this? And she said, Mama, this is the DC family, and I love them. I love them.
They got Raven, Naya, and I forgot the other.
They're a beautiful family, and they show her off, and they involve her, and I love that. And then
You want to make me go short now.
I found who is it? The brother and the sister is TT and KD. Their mom, she had 2 kids. 2 of her kids don't have it. No, 3 of them don't have it, and 2 of them do. I think she has 5. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you know who I'm talking about. But TT and KD, they are so gorgeous. I love them, and she brings awareness on her channel. And I'm trying to think of some more people, but those are the only 2 that I know that have channels and that have a big following that bring awareness, because I feel like it's important, especially if you have children that don't have albinism. You gotta know that they're gonna be affected by it in some kind of way. And I had to just sit down, because Kylie cried her eyeballs out. I'm like, girl, this is how you handle this. You educate them, because they don't, obviously they're not being taught, and they don't know, and it's not being taught in school. Now I met a girl here, and her son, one of my sweetest kids ever, and year before last, I think it was, he came up to me and he said, Serena, you have albinism, don't you? And I said, yeah. He said, that is so cool. He said, we learned about that in school. And I said, what? They taught you that in school? It's like, yeah. He said, it was like, I think that's cool. And I said, no, what's cool is that they're teaching you about it. So I don't know what school he goes to here in Mobile, but they teach them about it. And I feel like it should be taught, because you just never know. You don't know. And then it's going to teach the child how to deal with a person with albinism. I mean, it's nothing really to it. Just accept them as they are. Like, God made us like this for a reason.
I wish I made a friend who had.
Oh, Kylie are they twin sisters?
I think.
2 girls at this school with albinism.
Oh yeah.
at this school here, and they have kids from all walks of
I
life
think
at
she's
this
in
school.
first grade.
And I love that. I said, really? And I got really, really excited because I'm like,
What?
okay, yeah.
Yeah, one is in first grade, one I think is in fifth grade.
I was like, yeah, she's right where she needs to be. She's right where she needs to be, you know, in that type of environment.
It's not just all black. It's
Yeah,
Mexican
it's
too.
all kinds. And that's what I wanted for her, y'all. Well, y'all may not believe me, but I manifested that. I wrote that down in the book and I kept writing it down, that she be put somewhere where there's people from all walks of life. Because I feel like I want my kids to love all people, not just her community. She needs to be around all kinds of kids of different ethnicities like I was. You know, and that's how I became to love and learn about other cultures and not just my own, you know. That's why my mind is the way it is. Like, it's expanding. I can, like, see it from this point of view, that point of view, you know what I'm saying? I ain't just in a box. You cannot put me in a box. And I want the same for my kids. I want them to be open to everything. But, yeah, y'all, if you have a family member, a loved one living with albinism, y'all celebrate them today. Hug them and, you know, let them know they are accepted, they are loved. We are no different from nobody else. We just do things a little bit different. That is it. But like I said, I will be sliding some information in on this video, things that I did not cover, I didn't have time to cover, so you guys will know. But yeah, I am a black woman living with albinism. Kylie's father has albinism, but she doesn't have it, so. And neither does my son, so. Still thankful. All right, y'all. Love y'all.
Goodbye.
Bye.